This is the G.I.Joe classified series Storm Shadow. Quite possibly the only figure I was most excited to get this year, and this figure looks amazing, at least in packaging. I hope it does not disappoint. And here is Storm Shadow out of packaging, and boy, this figure looks great. It is absolutely amazing. It's everything you need a Storm Shadow in this scale to be. It just looks gorgeous. I had my doubts. I thought Hasbro was never going to do this figure after giving us the Arctic Attack Storm Shadow, but this figure just looks phenomenal. And they gave a lot of fan service with this figure. It has a ton of the G1 reference back in the 80s. He's got the cut-off sleeves for his kimono, for his gi. He's got the gauntlets. He's got that iconic ninja cowl or ninja hood. He's got the shuriken on his shoulder strap. And he's got a ton of weapons, which all fit nicely on his backpack, just like how the old 80s toy was. So he's got his bow. This is a more modern bow. I believe we got this bow with the second version of Storm Shadow, the one with the hood. And the original Storm Shadow had the traditional bow. He's got a quiver with arrows, the Arashikage emblem or crest at the back. And one of the arrows, you can actually pull it out, and you can actually have him hold it. It's an arrow gripping hand that you can actually have him hold the arrow, the bow and arrow, and have him shoot. I'll show that off later, but it's just great amount of detail that they've put on the accessories. And also, he's got these two swords. These are supposed to be katana. I'm a little disappointed that they carved out the snake head for the hilts of these swords, and they kind of look a little bit more modern. It looks great, don't get me wrong, but I would have wished for a more traditional katana for Storm Shadow. But I guess we're going to get that when they do release this one in the retro card. I'm pretty sure they're going to re-release this figure in the retro carded version. That's what they're doing now. And probably give them a more 80s feel, or the original toy. But the swords look great. One is shorter than the other, just like the old toy. Painted silver. He also has a cowl. You can actually swap out this... this is the unhooded version when you have him just with his head, but you can actually put stick that head in, and then you can put him with a hood, which is also cool. I mean, I remember the first version of Storm Shadow did not have I can't remember if he did have a hood in the cartoon, but I know the toy didn't. We had that hood in the second version when he was part of the Joe team with the urban camo look of his gi, but it is an option. But I do prefer him with his normal ninja look, not without the hood. Okay, so the backpack is removable. Also, this is supposed to be, I guess, his black belt. Like in martial arts, you are ranked according to belt, and the knot looks like a belt, the knot of a belt. When you put on your gi, but it's kind of a modernized look. They've got some details here, the modern military details on the belt, and I guess this is just part of it. They added that just to symbolize that it is his black belt. It's pretty cool. It actually is removable if you want to. It's on a ball joint. You got some nice paint on his forearms, on his shins. The uniform, or at least the gi, is full of details. It's not a plain white smooth gi. There's some detailing all over. And the gauntlets, they're not your typical just straps and I guess gloves. It's sort of done in a military sort of type of gauntlet. You can use it to block some blunt weapons and such. Neck is on a triple ball joint, as we've grown accustomed with these classified series and some of Hasbro's 1/12 scale figures. The bottom of the neck is on a ball joint. The midpoint of the neck is on a ball joint, and the top part of the neck is on a ball joint as well. You've got an ab crunch. You've got a ball jointed upper torso or waist articulation. It's got some butterfly joints for the shoulders. Shoulders can go in and out, forward and backward 360. You got a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that are pinless, which is great. The wrists can swivel. This one goes up and down on a hinge. This one goes up and down on a hinge as well. You do the splits with the drop down ball jointed hips. You get thigh swivel. Double jointed knees, again pinless. You get a calf swivel. Feet can go up and down, a hinge up and down, and you got the rocker tilt. Now, as mentioned earlier, there is a way to make the figure hold his bow and arrow. You just have to, it's a little tricky to have it so you don't have him posed with the arrow bent. It's locked in properly with the bow, and he's holding it with the arrow holding hand. And here he is with his rival and nemesis, Snake Eyes. These are two of the best figures in the whole entire classified series line. Now, I mentioned in my review of Snake Eyes that I still regard this figure as the best classified series figure, but now that we have Storm Shadow, I think he might already be dethroned, because I think this Storm Shadow is pretty good and could be the current best figure in the entire classified series line. I mean, I'm sure there are other figures out there like the Cobra Trooper Officer, the Viper, you've got Destro and all, but to me, these two are the top two figures in the line. And if you're starting a classified series collection, these are the two figures you need to start your collection with. And so some final thoughts on this new G.I. Joe Classified Series Storm Shadow figure. I absolutely love this figure. It is a glorious figure, and it is all that I've expected this figure to be. I wasn't quite sure Hasbro could nail this figure, but they did. It gives a great homage and tribute to the 1980s figure, and it sort of gives it a modern touch with the weapons and some of the details of his uniform. This figure is going to receive my legendary 11 out of 10. I absolutely love this figure. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this new G.I. Joe Classified Series Storm Shadow. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.